Hello, John from the Punters Pal here. Just following up on the report I sent you the other day, where I promised to fill you in more on the results from the system I've been telling about, the new one, which we've christened the Each Way system. I may change that yet, I don't know. But anyway, as promised, this will show you the screenshots you saw the other day and some more. So what I'm going to do is, let's first of all, we need to go on to My Systems. And then we have to find the system in question. Loads on here, as you can see. A lot of them experiments. And this is the one we want, number 82, and the quickest way to get to that is this way. Edit, and this is the system, and now we run query, and that gives you the results of the system. Now this is win. I'll show you what I intend to do is I'll show you everything as though we were back into win, which we do because we've got confidence. We devised the system, and so we've got confidence in it, and we can take the losing runs that are inevitable with this 27%, 28% strike rate. What I propose to do is to show you, because Horse Race Base is best for showing win systems. It's not the greatest for showing each way. I'll show you what I can show you if you was to bet to win, as we do. And then at the end I'll show you what would happen if you was to bet each way, or what would have happened were you to have bet these selections each way as we recommend. So to start with, you can see that it's good. I mean, there's 16, this is since January the 1st 2016, by the way, to today, which is the 17th of April. So you can see there's been 1,600 bets, near enough, 444 winners, near enough 28% strike rate, a profit of 967 plus points, and the place is 785. Now I must stress that's win and place. They always say place, but that includes winners counts place. So if you look at that figure, 785 out of 1,601, it's damn near half. So you get the place strike rate of 49.03%, almost half winners. Two things to note. First of all, let's look at, well, the first thing that catches your eye is the Betfair superiority betting on Betfair compared to SP. That pays nearly 200 points more than that. Unfortunately, we can't use Betfair because we live in France, but anyone who can would be advised to use Betfair. Second thing is the enormous return on investment. If we, just for ease of mental maths, if we call that 1,600 and we call that 1,000, then that's 16 to 10 ratio. So in other words, this is 160% return on investment, 60% profit on turnover, which is, you know, amazing, phenomenal, almost unheard of. So that's been the overall record of the selections since 1st of January 2016, and this is win only. I'm just stressing that because we'll show the each way later. Okay, now the next thing I want to take a look at is losing runs. I don't think I showed this in the last report. So to find those, we go to statistics, and you can see that most losing runs, I'll just explain, losing sequences, the occurrences is the number of times the sequence happened. So a losing run of 1 happened 86 times. This is out of the 1600 or so bets I've just shown you. A losing run of 2 happened 71 times, etc. As you can see, it goes down with each sequence of losers. So these down to 1 to 5, these would be your typical losing runs. Less typical would be these from 6 to say 11. Now don't forget, this is again, all these figures are win only. This is on the 28% strike rate, rather than the 50% strike rate that the each way, if you back them each way, would achieve. So those are quite manageable, especially if you have the sort of bank we recommend and your stakers we recommend. But it's these outliers here, these losing runs of 21 and 24 once each. Those are cripplers. Those, even halfway through those runs, so if you got 2 of those close together, you would just give up. But this is win only. Don't forget, you wouldn't get anything like that on each way. But we can put up with these because we know. We devised the system. We've seen its ups and downs. We've seen the winning runs, the losing runs, the bank go up, the bank go down, etc. So we. But the reason we can do that is this, as I described in earlier reports. 1, we have a 100-point bank. 2, we only bet to 1% of that 100-point bank to win. If we were backing each way, we would back 1 point each way, so that would be a 50th. But to win, we only back 1 point of that bank. So even these outliers, even these freak results here, we can withstand them, and they can and do happen from time to time. You would expect one of these in every 1,000 bets, so 1,000 sequences. So yeah, they do happen, and that's why we have the bank we have, and that's why we back to the percentage of the bank, 1% of that 100-point bank. The bet going up and down, the stake going up and down. After a winner goes up, after a loser goes down. With the bank, up and down with the bank. So as you can see that that's why we have such a big bank, and that's why we're back to what seems such a small percentage, but what is necessary to protect the bank, because it's not losing the full bank. Very few people have got either the bloody mindedness or the courage, or whatever you want to call it, to go the whole way and lose a bank. They give up at a certain point, and most people, it's probably a quarter, half, or a third of the bank, they'll give up. So we want, if people are going to use this, we want people to keep using it, and the best way to do that is for you not to encounter these runs, frankly. Unless you've got very strong nerves and very high discipline, you want. This is why we recommend each way. But this is how it would. These are the losing runs for win. As I showed you the other day, I sent a table that showed losing run and strike rate. It showed you that a losing run with 50% strike rate, over 1,000 bets, you could expect 10. You could expect 10 losers. One losing run of 10. So looking at 15, 1600 here, you would expect maybe 1 or 2 losing runs of 10 each way. Right, I think that's the winning run is 2 of 5, which would be handy if you had them in the same day, because you'd have a good multiple. But right, good multiple payout. So that sits on the losing runs for now. The next thing I want to have a look at is bank growth. So this is the bank growth using these figures, using this record, these selections, and the losing runs I've just shown you, and we find this on statistics, and oh sorry, I've looked at the wrong thing. Come back to losing runs. We look at it on stake plan, that's it. Now we want level stake percentage. Just to recap, that's not the same as 1 point level stakes and carry on with 1 point for the rest of your life. This is 1%, so it goes up and down with the bank. So it's a £100 bank to start with. We recommend £100 and play with the bookies' money. Back, official SP, and we recommend 1%. This is win only again. So right, proceed, and that just restates what we've said. 100 back, official SP, 1%. Right, what's amazing about this and shows the power of compounding is this: is the your £100 that you started with after 2¼ years, or just over, is £609,756.88, which is mind-blowing. And the other not quite as amazing but interesting stat is that you would only lose 21p. I think, am I right? Yeah. The lowest ever from your £100 starting bank would be minus 21p, which is unusual, so it must have had a lucky start there, because usually you go up and down with once you start a bank, you go up and it'll go down below what you started with, etc. But in this case it didn't, it just must have got a good start. Now the actual annual end of year balances, forget these here. We've not even looked at these years, and the reason for that is the more that we've done these, the more we investigate systems, the more we found that you can actually have too big a sample, and that you need to achieve a point somewhere between that puts together recency and combines recency with a decent enough size sample. So we're looking at what, 1,600, 1,500, 1,600 bets here, so that's big enough for me, and the recency is right up to today, as you can see. So again, these are amazing. You start with £100, and at the end of that year you increase it 140-fold to 14,396. That itself, if you run it up, which you would have to be very brave or very stupid, frankly, to do, you'd be rewarded for that bravery or stupidity with £550,382.75 bank. Right, obviously this is not for real. People just aren't going to do that. So I mean, not least, you probably wouldn't, even if you had the courage to do it, you wouldn't get your bets on with a bookie. 1% of 550,000 is 5,500. So you wouldn't get on with a bookie, especially if you're having these sort of results that take you from there to there. So the only way you get a bet on would possibly be with Betfair just before the off, when the bookies are betting big stakes with each other. But no, realistically, you would, at the end of year one, you would take a great deal of that out, and then you would start this next year with a smaller bank. But in both cases, this increase is 140% in 2016, and it's almost exactly the same in 2017, 140-fold, sorry, not percent. So you can see that you could quite easily start year two in retrospect of course, with 1,000 and still end up with 140,000. I think I'm right in saying. Yeah, if that went up 140 fold. So either way, you can, you know, once you've got the first year over, you would be able to basically, you could take, say, 4,000 out, keep a £10,000 bank in, and just live on the takeouts from that if you wanted to. Or you could increase it a bit and take 50% out or whatever. You know, it'd be up to you. But you can see that the potential there. I mean, I'm not claiming, obviously, that this will happen in the future. All we can say for sure is this is what would have happened. This horse race base is extremely highly respected, very accurate with this stuff. You know, it doesn't make mistakes on this sort of thing. So that definitely would have happened. Whether it will happen in the future is, I would be surprised, I'd be amazed, I'd be delighted if it did. But who knows? But even if it only did a tenth as well, you know, a tenth of 14,000 and odd, you're talking 1,400, which at the end of the first year after starting with £100 bank is a 14-fold increase. Now, if that went up, so where are we? If that 1,400 went up by 14-fold the next year, you'd be looking at what? 10 14s is 14,000. You'd be looking about 20,000 after 2 years, starting with £100, which would be amazing. So anyway, that's what it's done. That's all I can say. I can't, you know, past results, the old caveat. Past results is no guarantee of future results. No more on horse racing than on the stock exchange. So now finally, the last thing I want to show you is the each way. I've left this till the end because it can just complicate matters if I do it in between. It's not, horse race base isn't ideal for studying each way, but this shows you the fundamentals. So you can see fundamentally there'd be 1,558 each way qualifying selections. There's about 50 less than the total on this one, 1601, because some races are 400 or less races. So there's slightly less runners, but that's neither here nor there. 427 wins is around 27-28% again. Again, Winham placed is 768 of 1558, which gives us a strike rate of 49.29, slightly better than the original one. So roughly half are placed, Winham placed, Winnar placed. What's interesting, well, one of the interesting things is the 1160.93 points profit compared to the 967 profit on SP. That's 200 points more. Now there's a reason for that, and it's because this is what I said about the downside of each way is you have to halve your stake, or you can double it. In this case, we're doubling it, but it's sort of academic because you're splitting whatever stake you've got in half. But so this 1,558 selections is actually, call it 3,000. Let's just so I can do the maths in my head. Let's call it 1,500. Is actually 3,000 bets, 1,500 win bets, 1,500 place bets. So if we look for the profits for that, 1,160 points profits on 3,000 bets, then just to keep the math simple, let's call that 1,500, and let's call this 1,000. It'll underestimate it a bit, but but it keeps the maths simple. Sorry, call this 3,000 and call that call that 1,200 actually, rounding up is nearer. You're looking, if you use 300 as the common denominator, you've got 10 lots of 300 here to make 3,000, 1,500 each way, and you've got SP points profit of 1,200, so that's 4 times 300, so that's 10 to 4, so that's a 40% 40% profit on turnover, or 140% return on investment. Now that's lower than the if we go back to the overview and we look at 1,600 bets and call that let's see, how could we do that? Call it 1,500 bets and call that 900 SP profit, just to get an approximate idea. You're looking at 5, the ratio there, 5 times 300 is, that's 5 to 3, which is a 60% return on investment. So you take a hit on the rate of profit, it goes down from 60 to 40, but the actual mass of profit, the actual, you know, number of points profit is 200 points more. Plus you've bought the safety that goes with backing each way, the much lower losing runs, as I say, 10 max typically, and that means you're much more likely, from our point of view and from yours, the most important thing is the psychological element. You are much more likely to stick with this and to, you know, through the inevitable bad runs and all the rest, and stick with it, so that you see something like the results we've shown, rather than if you bet to win and you hit a bad run or two and just, you know, jack it in and give up on it. So I think it's better, and this is why I've sort of pushed this as an each way system. Even though the rate of profit is lower, I think it's better for you to go each way on this, because simply because you're more likely to stick with it. If you don't stick with it, you won't make any points profit. That's the thing. And so certainly at the beginning, certainly for a start, maybe even for the first, because I know some people aren't each way backers, I'm not. But just for the start, just for say 6 months or a year, I'd say even, I would back this each way, just for peace of mind and just to make sure you stick at it, don't give up, and then kick yourself for missing, you know, a really profitable, potentially ultra profitable system or selection method. So you can see what can be done, both betting to win, which I don't recommend, we do, but I wouldn't recommend for you at the beginning, and you can see this, which is what would happen each way, except this would be 3,000 if this was an accurate representation. So so from there, really, let's see, let's just recap a little bit, and then I'll talk to you about the next time, because I'm going to do another video before I sort of finish with this subject. So if we go back to the overview, I've shown you what this does if we were back it to win. You know, I mean, these sort of profits over 2.5 years. Well, that's what they are or were. I've shown you warts and all the. This is again win only. The possible losing runs. And I've also shown you the bank growth. Oh, sorry. was. I've also shown you the bank growth. This was if you'd have backed our selections, or the new system selections, as we recommend, and so I've shown you those three things. I hope that's helped, because I did show you, and I wanted to make sure that you could see that the screenshots I sent the other day are coming from a reliable source, and also show you some more that I think I didn't send last time. So basically, I'll leave it at that this time. What I propose for next time is I will, in a day or two, I'll get in touch again, and I will show you the system basically. I can't show you all of it, but I can show you nearly all of it, so that there's just one filter missing. I haven't checked, frankly, whether that would show it a profit or not, but it would be pretty much near break even, I'm pretty sure, before we add the final filter. So as I say, I'll do what I've done today. I'll run through the system builder, which is on here, just the same way as I've done today, and go through this and show you how the system is, what it's made up of, and the results at each stage, and then we'll take it from there. We'll see if you're interested in, because I mean, I could show you the full system, but A, it'd be all over the internet, and none of us, it's not good to any of us, and B, I want to show you the selections from this system, and in any case, even if I showed you the system, almost everybody would need me to send them the selections. So that's what I propose for next time. So there's nothing much more to say really. Just look out in your inbox for an email from me, and it'll probably be about showing you the most of the system, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so thanks for your patience. Videos are not my forte, but if you've stuck through this long, thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you soon.